Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to the weekly Parsha Shir. This week is Parshahs. It's a double Parsha. Tazria and Metzora. Two of the most abstract Parshas in the Torah. Not Chas v'Sholom, because any part of Torah is abstract. But it talks about leprosy, Metzora. And these are some of the hardest laws in the Mishnah, in the Gemara. Some of the more difficult. These are white spots that appear on people's skin. And it's called leprosy. Some commentaries call it something else, a tzoras, without defining it as leprosy, because it's not really known. Leprosy has almost all been abolished from the earth from over 100 years ago, but at the same time, it's still there. Now the Gemara says the leprosy comes because of several sins. One is slander, lashon hara. You speak slander, you have separated between two people, whether you spoke against a husband or wife or against friends. You caused a split in the community. Because of that, a Metzora, a leper, is commanded to sit outside the community. He's not allowed to be within the community. So there's not such good things that have to do with leprosy. Not good at all. All different types. These are white spots. Rashi explains some are whiter than others. You can get a burn. It leaves a white spot on your skin. You can get some kind of other affliction that stays on your head, in the facial area, rosh or bazakan, whether it's in the head or it's in the beard area, the neck. And there are all different types of suffering. May Hashem spare us all. Nobody should suffer. Nobody should have to deal with an affliction that keeps him away from the community. And the way to do that is not to sin. The way to do that is just don't speak slander. Now, the laws of slander are many. What's considered slander? What's considered if you speak against somebody? The Gemara goes so far to say that if somebody asks you, where could I get a hot meal? And your intention is to belittle the person who has a lot of cooking. He always has something hot to offer anybody who passes by. And that's a great thing. Oh, you can tell him, go to that person. But if your intention is the jealousy and the hatred against the person who has the good, who does good things, then it's also considered slander, even if you said a good thing about him. So you have to, what we call, the Chaim calls, guard your tongue. Chaim, 100 years ago, came out with a book called Shmiras HaLashon. He discusses all the laws of slander. It's been translated into English. I don't know the English name, but you have to watch out, right? Okay. So now that slander abounds, unfortunately. I mean, you don't have to look further than your local media, whether it's your radio station, your television, your internet connection, CNN, BBC, NBC, ABC, who the heck knows the names of, all the initials, all the acronyms, whatever. But they pick a subject, meaning a human being, a subject, and they start belittling him, berating him, degrading him. And people start talking about it. It's all Lashon Hara, right? And who says that the newspaper is correct? And a lot of times they're not. I would venture forth to say most of the time they're not. But even if you say sometimes they're not, and they want to apologize, so the slander appeared on the front page or the second page, and the apology appears on page 10 in small letters. Right? They apologized. Big deal. Chaim has a great parable. Somebody came to him, how widespread is the effect of slander? He said, take a pillow filled with feathers. Take that pillow, go into the town square, the center of town, on a windy day. Cut open the pillow and let all the feathers fly about. Okay? Hashem should spare us all. He said, okay, that's slander. Well, how do I rectify it? Well, go collect all the feathers. Go collect all those feathers. They're spread out in the wind all over the city. How are you going to rectify it? Yes, tshuva helps. You can do tshuva. Anyone can do tshuva for any sin. The worst of sins, which slander, Lashon Hara, is considered the worst of sins. But it's harder. So the best thing is shut your mouth. Right? Not a very nice term, but that's what it would be. If most people shut their mouths, well, they wouldn't speak slander, they wouldn't tell lies, they wouldn't speak profanity, they wouldn't speak flattery, they wouldn't speak idle gossip, and also they'd lose a lot of weight. That's what would happen if you keep your mouth closed. So there's a lot to do with Tazria Metzora, what has to do with the people. We have to learn to control our mouths and speak properly. So now that's in Parshas Tazria. Metzora speaks about the rectification, the sacrifice that a person has to bring for the slander, for the leprosy. And then the Torah adds another passage about leprosy. It says, when you come to your land, you'll stay in your land in Israel, I will give, this is what Hashem says, I will place leprosy in your homes. Wow, isn't that great? Hashem promises us Eretz Yisrael. He says we can all go there, and we'll all have homes, and we'll have place where to stay. We'll be safe in Israel and whatnot. And you know what? I'm going to give you a present, leprosy in your homes, so that the leprosy will be found in the stones. What kind of statement is that? The Medrash asks, what kind of statement is it that Hashem come to the land and I'm going to give you leprosy, right? Well, leprosy is slander. Unfortunately, it's something that we're witnessing today in the land of Israel. There's a lot of fights between the right and the left over judicial reform and whatnot, and each one is slandering the other. Great, all right? That's just what we need for peace, right? They should fight. They should close down the airports, close down the highways, close down the streets, right? They should destroy other people's livelihoods because they can't get to work, they can't move. So, there's a lot of problems with slander, with arguments. Well, I'm right. How do you argue with me and whatnot? Okay, whatever. And Hashem says, I'm going to give you this leprosy in your homes. Where's the good news? What kind of good news is that? And the Medrash says, I'll tell you what it is. The previous dwellers of the land, they hoarded gold, silver, precious jewels, and they placed it in their homes. But they heard the Jews were coming. God forbid they should give something to a Jew. So they went and hid their valuables in the walls of their homes. So Hashem said, I'm going to give you this leprosy. You're going to have to dismantle the bricks of your home. And with that, you will find the treasures. And this is really a lesson for everything that we have to do in life. There's always problems. There's always a type of leprosy, a type of slander, a type of argument, strife, and something that happens in our lives. And it's devastating. It could destroy and destroy and destroy. Right? But we have to know, and we have to believe, that the strife and the arguments that come are meant to teach us a lesson how to come closer to Hashem. We're going to find gold and silver, right? Every cloud has a silver lining. Every argument, every strife, every place, there's something always going wrong. But you, us, we, right, have to learn that in there, in the problem, there's a treasure waiting for us. It's up to us to mine that treasure, up to us to look for the treasure, not the strife, not the arguments, but what's hidden behind it. What's that hidden message that Hashem has given me? Have a great Shabbos.